Similar to Tom Hanks' character, who travels from town to town to read the news, I thought I'd do something in the same vein, so here is me recounting all of the major news stories from the past year.
Stop! I'm not gonna hurt you! Do you understand English?
Dog, jeg kan godt
Friend. It says your name is Johanna Leonberger. Indians took you when they attacked your family 6 years prior. The mother, father, and sister were... well, they passed.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel and time for another episode of Luke's Reviews. And on today's video, I will be talking about a brand new awards contender from the director of films like The Bourne Ultimatum and Captain Phillips, and also starring America's dad himself, Tom Hanks, in a film that has yet again been obtained by Netflix for its international release, and that is News of the World. News of the World is set out in the American West, as the dust has begun to settle following the American Civil War. Tom Hanks stars as Captain Kidd, a newsreader who travels from town to town to read aloud the news stories from across the world. During a trip, he stumbles upon a young girl who appears to have been abandoned by her adopted Native American family, and so Kidd takes it upon himself to escort her home. I'm a really big fan of Paul Greengrass's work. I think he's one of the most sorely underrated and overlooked directors working today, and I'm not just saying that because he's from a town that is literally just down the road from me. He has a knack for putting out consistently well-directed films, and regardless of genre, can craft the most raw and authentic intensity better than the majority of the bigger named directors out there. And this time round, for News of the World, it's arguably the most stripped back Greengrass has ever been. His direction is very assured. You can tell that he has set out with a goal in mind and not compromised a single bit. And there are a few moments in the film where that trademark Greengrass intensity seeps in, particularly in a nail-biting shootout. Nevertheless, though, Greengrass keeps his western restrained. There are no gunslingers, no shootouts at the OK Corrals. It's not one of those movies, far from it. Instead, Greengrass is far more interested into tapping into what America was like in that period of time. He's touching directly on the state that America found itself in the almost direct aftermath of the American Civil War. America was hurting, particularly in the southern states. And Greengrass adds this very uneasy atmosphere everywhere that Kidd and Johanna go. Not everyone they encounter is some mustache-twirling ruffian out there for nefarious deeds, but in just the general presentation of certain townspeople, even the towns themselves, they're just worn down, they're tired, they're defeated, and you can really see how much of a toll that this war has taken on them. The grief and the loss that they've suffered is etched into the settlements, which is why the scenes where Hanks is telling the people the news is so hopeful and uplifting. People looked to these moments as a source of inspiration, as a source of, like, life can be good. And especially after the past 4 years, where a certain former president, God, that feels good to say, a certain former president has slandered the news, Greengrass, you can tell, is really trying to depict the good that news can bring. As to be expected, Tom Hanks is great. He's as dependable as he always is. By no means are we looking at this as one of his all-time great performances, but it is Hanks on tip-top form. Helena Zengel, who plays Johanna, was a real breath of fresh air. Initially, I thought that they were going to go down the well-trodden path of their relationship basically developing into a pseudo-father-daughter type bond, but it isn't as heavy-handed as I kind of feared it would be. Instead, it's more attuned to a partnership, where both individuals stood on equal ground, where a level of respect is shared between them. That all being said, I fell short of really liking News of the World. It's a good movie. It's fine. It is an immensely easy film to just sit and watch, but nothing ever leapt from the screen making me think, wow, this is special. Realistically, I think with a couple of tweaks here on there are a couple of moments that you could have zhuzhed it up a bit. But instead, it goes down the same path that plenty of movies have been down before, and on the whole, it just felt rather perfunctory. We get films like News of the World almost every year around awards season. Great performances, really solid direction, impressive on a technical scale, but in terms of story, there's nothing truly unique on display. I'm going to give News of the World a 6.5 out of 10. Anyway guys, those were my thoughts on News of the World. Let me know, have you had a chance to see the film yet, and what did you think? And my question to you, I would like to know, what is your favourite Paul Greengrass movie? If you think you're unfamiliar with some of his work, I implore you, go onto his IMDb, look up what he's done. It will surprise you. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure to click that like button, and if you aren't already, click that subscribe button too.